All right. Good morning. Good morning to all 9,000 people watching. We're going to wait a few seconds to let some people come in. Oh, man, the pollution is horrible. Absolutely horrible today. What is it over there? Wow. Even the air purifier is really bad today. And it's never bad. Uh, the air index, the pollution index, very unhealthy. 183 in Bangkok. That's horrible. And my air purifier is 37, which it's never 37, ever. It's maybe 3 or 4, 5 on a bad day. But this is really, really bad. So it's very polluted outside, in case you don't get the gist. It's 84 degrees, supposed to be a high of 95 today. 96 on what did it just change now? Well, yeah, 95 tomorrow. It's going to be in the 90s. It's getting hot again. So be prepared. 68% humidity. There is a little wind. Easterly at 6 miles an hour. Right now, like I said, it's 84. Feels like 93. Visibility, 5 miles. But I'll tell you, when I was at Jono's the other day, we looked out and you couldn't see a whole lot. You could see a layer of smog, pollution, just laying there. So it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. And most importantly, the bot, it's going down again. Just ever so slightly. Got up to, let me see here, 30.3745 yesterday to the US dollar. Now it's 30.2653. That's not very good. But hopefully it will continue. The dollar will continue to get stronger and everything will be all right. We want more money for our bot, not less. And I only have 11 people watching right now. I understand. It takes time for people to come in. But I'd appreciate if less people would lurk and more people would chat. Because if you don't chat, then, what's the point? Seriously. Not to gripe and groan, but what's the point of me being here? I'm not going to talk to myself and just have people not interact with me. If I wanted to do that, I could just do a video. Which, I do every once in a while, but okay, well, we'll just wait then. You mean the protests? Is that what you mean? The protests? I think riot is a strong word, to be completely honest, but then I guess it depends on your view. Mitch, what's happening? How you doing? Yeah, well, there's been it seems like, I don't know. Hey, how you doing, Michael? What's happening? Yeah, I'm still here. Sometimes it takes a few of the people to get a little bit of time to get going. They don't always want to chat right away, which, whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm here, and yeah, I don't particularly like the phrase riot. Uh, you know, Normally what happens with in Hong Kong, from what I've seen, is that the protesters come out. They basically do very little aside from chant and sing and things like that. Most of the time, they may march, and there may be a few bad apples here and there, but they do very little when it comes to violence until the police come and start getting violent with them. And then you have a standoff. They start getting pissed off. People start getting, their emotions start getting high. And the next thing you know, things are happening. Police start beating people up, and people are going to get angry. You know. Yeah, it doesn't work, Jono, if you're in Thailand, but thanks for trying. I really appreciate it. Where is that link that I had? I have a link that actually I was going to put up. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, Thailand, I'm going to get into Thailand in a second, but I don't particularly like it when somebody comes in, especially somebody that I don't know, who's never commented in my chats before, and he starts phrasing things as it's a riot. Every once in a while I get these guys, I'm sure Michael gets them too, but there are guys that they're not from China, and for whatever reason, they have this opinion that everybody who's doing things, the protesters, all the protesters that are doing things in Hong Kong, that they should just lay back and do nothing, and if they do anything, then uh, uh, they should be termed or deemed rioters. And I just don't think that that's appropriate. So here's the link. This is the contribution link. This is the link that if you like what I do, if you like the live streams and the videos and the photos that I provide from Hong Kong, that's how you get there. And I've been in the midst of this GoFundMe thing, but because I put something about Australia, I put something about, well, hey, the coverage is large from international mainstream media coverage has dwindled. And you look on some of the websites, Reuters and Fox and CNN and BBC, you look on some of these websites, you're not going to find anything unless you search for it for regarding Hong Kong. You're not going to find anything. The mainstream, a lot of the mainstream, the big people have split, and now it's up to the independents to, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was there for, now it's been, I spent about 2 months there now, and, I have a pretty good idea what's going on. I speak with people all the time, the journalists, photographers, people on the ground. I speak with them every single day. I follow things. I follow your Facebook. There's a lot of things that I do to keep up with this, and it's not easy to keep up with it all the time. So it's very difficult for people who are overseas, who are busy. They're doing whatever it is they're doing. They just continue going to work, coming home, spending time with the wife and kids, and then the next thing you know, they got to go to sleep, and they don't keep up with some of the things. And it is very important. This matter between the Chinese government and the Hong Kong government and the people seeking democracy, the citizens of Hong Kong, who are the majority. I don't care what any of these 50 centers say. They are in the majority. And this is just what I've seen, you know. Well, yeah, that is true, Vito. And also, like I was saying, part of the problem is there's so much going on. There's so much news. It's about what the media thinks is going to sell, what's going to make them money, what they think is important. And of course, anything having to do with the president is important. So his impeachment has been in the news, which, it's taken up space, basically, in my opinion, because it's not going to happen. He's not going to be found guilty. He's not going to be booted. It's not going to happen. Now with Iran, what happened in Iraq, with Iran and Iraq, that's in the news. You got the bushfires in Australia. You got Kim Kardashian's fat ass. You got all these things. People want to know more about who got married and had babies than about what's going on in Hong Kong. And I have a real problem with that, which is why, after seeing some of the things that I saw, and I'm sure Michael has seen them, and many other people have seen them, and people in this stream have seen them, I think it's really important because it could be you. At some point, it could be you. One day, it could be you. And I was just talking to, I forget who it was yesterday, but we were talking about how insulated the people in the United States are. They feel like nothing's going to happen to them. They're not going to be bombed. They're not going to be invaded. They're not going to have this happen. They're not going to have that happen. Okay, yeah, for the most part, it's true. But that doesn't mean that other regions of the world are not important. And Hong Kong is extremely important for a number of reasons. So is Taiwan. So is the South China Sea. So a lot of things. What I put something about the bushfires in Australia, and GoFundMe basically said, you're trying to raise money for the fires in Australia, which is completely false. We need to review this, and it can take a week or longer, I guess. So, that's the way it goes. But I do have a page set up, and I'm going to put up some other things because I need to get back there, okay? But when it comes to Thailand, it was brought to my attention yesterday that in Lopburi there was a robbery. Masked men burst into a store in Lopburi, 100 miles north of Bangkok, shot dead a security guard, young salesperson, and a 2-year-old boy. At least 5 others, including one tourist, were seriously injured in the incident. That's not a good step. I haven't seen these kind of things happening very often where they're shooting people. I see people getting beat up, threatening to shoot people, and robbing people. I've seen that, but you don't. It's not all that often that you see somebody in the news who goes in, robs a place, and shoots a bunch of people. So this is not good for Thailand in any way. What about the French protest? Yeah, what about no, they haven't completely fizzled out. I think they just had one a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, something like that. Yeah, that one's important also. Let me get to what I got here. And here in Thailand, I'm not sure. What I was going to say is that I'm not sure if this is going to be a protest or what's happening. I'm not really sure. But on Sunday, and I'll be there at, what is the name of this park? I've been to this park. I've streamed from it. Let me get the correct, what's the name of it? Starts with a W. I've streamed from there once or twice. There's going to be a run/walk from there. And it's supposed to be it's called the Run Against Dictatorship. And then this is, let me see here. And then there is also a pro-government. Nah, Jono, I actually like doing streams with you, I don't have to carry 100% of the load, which, I don't mean to put it that way, but I do have to do that. Wachira Benchatat Park. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Soon. What? Warren. Wachira Benchatat. Okay. Wachira Benchatat Park. I've been there before. It's the second largest park in Bangkok. If I remember correctly, it is not too far from Chatuchak Park. I've walked through them and streamed from there. And that's where this thing kicks off. I believe it kicks off at something like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, which I'll be there right around then. And I'll be there for the whole thing to make sure nothing happens, to see what happens, to photograph it. And maybe they'll protest at the end when everybody is, or the majority of people start finishing. But there is also a pro-government protest near Lumpini Park. So you got two, not protest, pro-government, rally. You don't call it a protest going on. And so, it's a big day on Sunday, and I will be streaming. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot when I'm streaming. I'll stream somewhere around 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. Depends on how everything goes, which is, I'll try to give a little advance notice. So that's what I'll be doing on Sunday. Then you got, Chinese New Year coming up. I'll be streaming that. And there's a few other things coming up that I'll be streaming from here in Thailand. But getting back to Hong Kong is paramount. Comes first and foremost to me. I need to go back there. I need to get back. So, that's what's going on. Now, I just saw something else that last year, a 7-Eleven staff member got shot tackling a robber. He was injured after being shot when he tried to snatch the gun from a robber. The robber eventually fled with 3,000 baht cash early today. $100. Wow. Yeah. So it does happen, but it doesn't happen all that often. The crime here in Thailand is basically, this is a Thai on Thai, but rarely, at least when it comes to, say, robberies, like in the traditional sense of I'm going into a bank, I'm going to a 7-Eleven, I'm going to do something like that. Rarely does it get violent against Westerners. So, there's nobody here. I don't understand this. We got Gennaro. It's good that Mike came in here. But, I've gone from 60, 70 people, and today I got 23 people watching. I don't know what the deal is, but I know that when I was in Hong Kong, I had a lot of people watching, several hundred. For me, it was quite a lot. It was, like I said, it was something like the high was like 310, 320, something like that, which that was great. The more people that watch, the better. That's the whole idea of going there. It's not because, I'm a superhero and I want to go over there and save the world. That's not what it is. I think all the eyes that are on this situation and other situations, it doesn't have to be just in Hong Kong, but important conflicts and situations, issues, whatever, I think the more eyes on them, the better. So, but Beyond Trinity sent me a message yesterday asking me about, what's it called? I didn't even know about this thing. The Insta360 1R. It has a few components apparently that you put together, and you can do 360 videos. You can do, it's like an action cam thing, or I didn't even know about the thing, which I'm thinking of the Sony because my GoPro took a dump. I've been thinking about, what about the Sony action cam or whatever, and here he comes up with this thing, which, I don't know how useful 360 is, but I guess it could be. Maybe it would be useful in Hong Kong. I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand it. You got a lot of people. A lot of the regulars aren't here today. Actually, Gennaro, one of them had like 6,000 views, which, that wouldn't be a lot in the past. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and how really the only mainstream media that's still there is like the Stand and Apple and places like that, Epoch. They're the ones, but they're mainly seen in Asia. So you have, CNN isn't so worried about Hong Kong. BBC, what is going on with the Brits? I mean, to me, they need to do more, and they certainly don't need to be involved in the police force. I just don't get it because I try to be for police. Really, I try to be pro-police most of the time. Assuming the situation warrants it. Now, you can come up with all kinds of reasons why you should or should not be pro-police in Hong Kong, but I think that the reason that the vast majority of Hong Kong citizens have no trust in their police force is because they're viewed as an arm of the Communist Party in China. And I have a problem with that. And then you got Brits going over there, which I did see. I did see you calling the guy out on it, Michael. I forget what his name is, Bradley, or I forget his name. But I've seen a couple of them. One of them was on the bomb squad, and he was, I would say, he wasn't nasty, but he was very curt about what he wanted. He wanted everybody out of the place. He didn't want anybody around. And the thing is, they hadn't even closed off the road, so people are just walking around, and he's getting pissed off telling people not to be there. Some of their logic on that police force doesn't seem very logical. I'm also generally pro-police. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Michael's been over there. Bradley Wright, that's what it is. Yeah. He's been over there since the beginning, basically, and taken very little time off. And, I do think it's that important. Unfortunately, many people, especially independents, it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money, takes a lot of effort, and most people don't have one or more of those necessary components to be able to continually cover it. The people that I really feel bad for are the Hong Kong journalists, because they don't have most of them, they're not taking breaks. They're there for everything. I'm sure they do take some breaks, but for the most part, it's not like they can just say, well, I don't feel like staying here, I'm going to leave. Most of them are not in that position. They can't just say, well, I'm going to move to the United States, or I think I'll move to Thailand. They're not thinking that way. Well, thank you, New York Frank. And you should thank Michael also. Because he's put in far more work than I have. But believe me, the one thing that doesn't scare me is hard work. And it is hard work being there on the ground. So, you just have to keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. And where the people involved that you want to wear down, you need to just keep at it so that you wear them down. That's the only option that I see. And continue to enlighten people and show people exactly what's going on. Because for the life of me, I cannot see a reason for a police officer you got some kid up against a wall, some 18-year-old kid that weighs 120 pounds, probably couldn't crack an egg, for the most part. And the guy's telling him to move. He has nowhere to move, and then he's spraying him with pepper spray. That kind of burns me up a little bit because it's happened to me. And, granted, maybe I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, whatever. I don't, it doesn't bother me at this point that it happened to me. It bothers me to see old women, old men, young kids, teenagers, because I think of my kids. That's what I think of. I think about what if something like that happened in Thailand or somewhere else where they're just walking down the street and somebody goes, hey, I need to look at your bags. Huh? What are you talking about? Why are you going to look at my bags? What? You're back talking me? No, I'm not back talking. Boom, you get sprayed with pepper spray. That's kind of what they're doing. Or they're spraying tear gas and all these other things. And I thought, oh, it sounds very quiet now. It seems like it's gone quiet. Man, I look online. The next thing I know, I see people getting gassed. This is just, I think, 2 days ago. Only the Chinese. What is this? Only the Chinese version. If you subscribe to Upload, you can. Oh, okay. So yeah, I haven't lost interest in it or anything like that. But for now, I'm in Thailand, and I gotta stay in Thailand until I can get back over there. And you guys know, people who watch this stream, this just channel. You guys know that if I'm not doing things a little bit different, if I'm just sitting here at my desk or at Starbucks or something like that, man, I mean, think about it. It's no different than me sitting at home in the United States doing the same thing and just going, okay, well, what are we going to talk about today? Yeah, all right. There are some interesting things. What is this? Cops clash. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. There are some interesting things to talk about, like Big Joke apparently got shot at. And also, what is this? The Immigration Bureau's controversial procurement of a biometric identification system is thrust into the spotlight. Has been thrust into the spotlight as the issue has brought to the forefront a conflict between former Immigration Police Chief Big Joke and National Police Chief Chaktip Chai Jinda. Following the incident, experts believe his shooting was linked to the purchase of a biometric identification system by the Bureau. He said that if he were the National Police Chief and no arrests were made, he would have assumed responsibility. I'll tell you what, and this is what another thing about China that really bothers me is their intrusion into your daily lives. And they do it in the United States. Supposedly for your own good, blah, blah, blah. But I don't buy it with China for sure. I 100% don't buy it when it comes to China. I can't. There's too many things that they're doing. And the same thing with the Hong Kong police. I would be worried if I had to go in and talk to somebody with the police because I got beat up, I got jumped, I got mugged, I got whatever else. I got into an accident or something. I would be worried walking in, and especially if they said, so what are you doing here? What do you do? Oh, I'm a tourist. But if I tell them, oh, well, I'm covering what's going on here, I'm a photojournalist. Oh, really? I'm sorry, I have no faith. Now, if I have no faith in them, what does that tell you? How much faith are the Hong Kong citizens going to have? Because I continually still get messages. I told a girl that had helped me, I told her Merry Christmas, and she said, it's not Merry for me. I was like, wow. And I didn't send her a Happy New Year because I didn't want her to say, it's not happy for me. I'd rather just not say it. So that's what's going on. And I didn't really plan on streaming for, 2-3 hours today because I really don't have that much to talk about, aside from a few things that happen in the news, and that really probably are not going to affect most of you if you come over here. Who knows? Longhorns may have had. Who knows where he is? He may be lurking. He may be offline. He may be going. He may have gone to the VA. But he's coming here in 2 weeks. He'll be here in 2 weeks. We got Jono. We still have Chris. I think. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while, and I don't know where he is or what he's doing. He could not be here, or he could be here. But we got Soy Dog Cowboy down in Pattaya. And there's a few people coming over here. So there's a group of us that I think are going to get together at some point, hopefully, possibly, and do a little meetup. So that's happening. That should be sometime around the end of the month. And that's around the time just after that I want to go. I'd like to go sooner to Hong Kong than later. But I don't think it's going to happen because I need some time to earn some money, to raise some money. Yeah. Sorry, but, money is the fuel. That's just the way that it is. I don't make the rules. You can think what you want about, trying to raise money through a GoFundMe or privately or through YouTube. You can think whatever you want. But nobody seems to complain. Nobody was complaining aside from the 50 centers. Nobody was complaining when I was streaming and when I was talking about what was going on. All that stuff takes work. I'm busting my ass out there. I hate to say it. That's the truth. I'm not complaining, but, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it because, first of all, I want to, and second of all, without putting myself in the poorhouse, which is where I am right now. I'm in the poorhouse. Anyway, so what else is going on here? Let me see. There was something else that I saw. It's just about the bot. Let's see what's happening. And the bot is up and down. Yeah, it's down now. It's down to 30. Keeps going down. And you're not going to get this if you're taking money out from an ATM. Right now it's 30.26. It just changed from 2626 to 2634. But it was under 30. And I can tell you that if you take money out from the ATM, when you're at, say, 29 point, if it shows on the ATM, it shows, the other day it showed 28.96 and then 28.98 for two of the withdrawals I made. And you're seeing publicly that the rate is stated as like 30.07 or something like that. So you lose like a point and a half almost. And it depends on which ATM you go to, which bank ATM you go to. Some of the banks are giving garbage. I mean, they're giving complete garbage rates. Don't go to Thai Military Bank. Their rates are horrendous. I tend to get the best rates from Bangkok Bank and, what is the one? Krung Thai? Krung Si? I forget which one it is, but it's the yellow one. I think it's Krung Si. So, yeah, cloning, speaking of cloning experiments, I'm really surprised more people don't want some kind of investigation into the, oh yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You just do it. What are you going to do when you're in the middle of it? You're going to go, oh, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'm going to leave. I don't know anybody who does that. And if they do, they probably don't belong there. You know. So anyway, what was I saying here? Oh, the bot. Yeah, the bot's been a killer for a lot of Aussies and Brits. I know what I was talking about now. Gennaro was talking about the cloning experiments. I'm really surprised you're not getting more. The Chinese government is not getting more grief about the whole organ donor issue, and then you do have people that are complaining about the way that the Uyghurs are treated and what's going on there. But of course, as is the norm for the Chinese government and many other governments and the Hong Kong police, when they are presented with facts, they place the blame on the people presenting the facts or the people who are their accusers. That's what they do. They turn it around and they refuse to acknowledge that they may be part of the problem. And that happens I've sat listening to the Hong Kong police tell their stories about what happened in certain situations, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You cannot say this with a straight face. But they do. And the same thing with Carrie Lam, their leader. She gets up and to say that they're going to give a review of what happened with the police and why it's happened, why the protests have happened. Why are they not investigating what's happening? Why are they doing a review? They're not doing a review saying we are going to go after the people and the police who have committed crimes against humanity. They're not saying that. All they're doing is saying we'll review it. But then nothing ever happens. It's like it's like the old classic way of the government's dealing with something. Oh, you want money for this, for the water in Detroit or in Flint. Yeah, we want water. We want money so we can fix the system here. Well, we're going to have to do a feasibility. We're going to have to do a feasibility. What do you call it? Study. We're going to have to check on this. We're going to have to do a study about it. And the study goes on for 3 years. And then people are complaining the whole time. And they're doing more studies. Well, you don't need a study. You need action. The study doesn't do shit. That's how it works in Hong Kong. That's how it works in China. That's how it works. Listen, it works all over the world that way. What really gets me now is it seems like the world is spiraling out of control. And I really am hesitant to say that. I don't like to say that because it comes off as negative. I don't want to be negative. But I want to be honest. I want to be truthful about what I'm seeing. And what I see, I don't like. I don't like the left and the right going at it with each other. This partisan bullshit that goes on. And it does really nothing for the people. It doesn't help the people in immediate need. What it does is supposedly helps one side or the other. In the case of the left, they still haven't recovered because Trump won the election. They can't recover. They just can't get over it. And it's like, get over it already. I can't stand these people now. I can't stand hearing about Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer. I can't stand these people. They drive me nuts. Sometimes I want to write them and go, lady, you're out of this AOC chick. I want to write her and go, honey, you're out of your mind. This Ilar or Elam or whatever her name is. The chicken, what was she in, Minnesota? She drives me nuts. And I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to watch it. I could sit in my office. I could go out and not listen to this, but you know what? I just can't. I can't because I'll be bored out of my head. So I look at, hey, what's going on? What's going on today? Is there a movie playing? And guess what? Something pops up, and I see it, and then I go, oh, let me look at this. I make that mistake, and there are numerous rabbit holes on the internet. Listen, I see a video that comes up on my Facebook account, and then I watch the next one, and then, oh, remember that fight? Yeah, I remember that fight. Oh, now there's some bare knuckle stuff on. It's only 2 minutes I watch. Before you know it, you pissed away a half an hour. So I don't like the rabbit holes that the internet has, but it's also that way with the news also, because once you start researching something, you start reading something, then it's, oh, wow. Twitter, I used to hate Twitter. Now I love it. I love it because you get the news and people's views in 140 characters or less usually. Yeah, but, when you see me standing there in front of a bunch of angry cops and you got people screaming, fuck you to the police and, saying stand with Hong Kong and 5 demands. Now it's only 4, but, it's a little bit different. It's not really, you don't have some pretty girl or some guy with perfect hair, some chick who's the weather lady. She used to be a weather lady, and, she went to, I don't know. I'm just making all this up. She went to Hong Kong and stood a couple 100 feet from where anything was going on, and then she's making this broadcast. Oh, yes, it's extremely dangerous here, Joe. Now back to you, John. Let's talk about what's going on with Kim Kardashian. Oh, yeah, her and Kanye. Listen, I got nothing personally against them, but they are, this is what I mean, though. Do-it-yourself ram pump what is that? I don't even know what that is, a do-it-yourself ram pump. Oh, is it a water pump? Introducing the hydraulic ram pump. Do not make it yourself. Well, that's the... Okay, it's a hydraulic pump. It's the same here in Australian political blame, especially about who's responsible for the fires. Yeah, the fire thing. When I first started hearing about it, I didn't really think it was all that bad. Now, obviously, it's been brought to my attention that it's extremely bad. And from what I'm seeing, I mean, it's horrible. And then you got people that they're setting fires. What's wrong with people? Throw them in jail for a long time. Do something. But they're basically, I don't know. And then, in Australia, listen, Australia has its share of problems with the Chinese, just like the U.S., just like Vietnam, just like the Philippines, just like, Taiwan, just like Hong Kong. When are people going to wake up? And this is what really gets me. My mother said to me the other day, why do you have to be so political? I'm not trying to be political. Seriously, I really don't give a shit about politics most of the time. I really don't. I don't want to. I don't care about the news. I don't give a shit about anything other than me, my family, and, hey, can I do what I want to do? Can I take some photos? Can I do this? Can I do that? Money, things that are really important. Family, friends, money, doing what I want to do. Timmy said it first, and he called me a butthead. I like the guy who sold naked photos. Yeah, well, I mean, that ain't going to happen with me. I mean, I can't, I don't have those assets. I can't lay down and take naked photos and donate it to the people in Hong Kong or to victims of the bushfires. I mean, I wouldn't earn any money, first of all. Nobody wants to see that. I certainly don't. I barely can look at myself in the mirror naked as it is. I barely can look at myself when I got clothes on, much less naked, But I never wanted to get. Uh, yeah, maybe someone would pay me to not be naked. Exactly. Um, but I never have wanted to be political or whatever. But unfortunately, it's like when I went over to Myanmar. I don't know how many years ago it was. I mean, I've been to Myanmar many times, but when I went to Myanmar specifically to photograph the Muslims in their villages that were being persecuted by the Burmese government, I didn't go over thinking to myself, well, they're Muslims. They don't need. Why am I going to go over there? Because frankly, I don't give a shit about religion most of the time. The only thing I care about is, does it cause problems for people? Now, many times, obviously with the Muslim extremists, that causes problems. But then you got problems with other religions as well. So I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it, I'm going over to do something. I'm documenting what's happening. I don't have to like them. I don't have to love them. I can dislike them. I can like them. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing in Hong Kong. The thing with Hong Kong, though, is that I respect a lot of the people for what they're doing and standing up for themselves. And I see what's happening to them. So it's, firsthand. Whereas over there, I didn't see a lot of things firsthand. I heard this, I heard that. I see how they're living. I see you can't get into this place. You can't get out of this place without permission. You need documentation for this, for that. All right, Andy, take it easy. Do I have my Manscaped briefs on right now? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think they're in the laundry right now. I need the wife. She's going to do them this weekend. I got the, what do you call it? The swim trunks on. So I'm all right. I'm all right going gorilla. But yeah, that's the thing. And when she asked me this, listen, when it comes down to it, I don't want to see people getting hurt, especially if they're innocent, especially if they're on, you got good and evil, that kind of thing. Most of the time there are shades of gray. But when there's enough for one side or the other, how are you going to deny it? I mean, why don't we just let all the Jews, like in the past, why don't you just let them all get killed? Why don't you let the people in Rwanda, they'll just all die? Well, we don't learn from history. We're supposed to learn and we don't. Now, am I doing so much by taking photos and streaming and all these things? In my opinion, I mean, it would be nice if I could go over there and I had the power to negotiate with somebody and I stopped the violence, I stopped the killings, I stopped all kinds of stuff that was going on over there. But I don't. So I can take I'll take what I can get. I'll do what I can. However small or big it is, I will do something. So that at least I'm doing something. I'm helping in one way or the other. And here's the thing too. You don't have to agree with what is said publicly about protesters or rioters or whatever else like that. You can call them whatever you want. You can call them rioters if you want. I don't agree though. And it's my right to disagree. And it's your right to disagree with me. But when I see things firsthand and I see what's going on, I have a hard time when people are apathetic. Let's see here. And there's a couple guys in Pattaya who Manscaped calendar. I don't think that's going to happen either. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Um, yeah, I don't think the Manscaped's going to happen, Gennaro. I'm sorry. You're not going to see me in my Manscaped underwear posing, next to a rock and out in the beautiful sun in the ocean under a palm tree. Uh, yeah, I mean, and then it's like, well, why don't you just not do anything? Well, I could. I could just chill out and, like make cooking videos or something. I could do stuff like that. I could just, finish writing my book. I could do, I can do all kinds of things like that. I could. But I think that the situation in Hong Kong is important enough to where I don't want to do that. And I've said this before. I'm 57 now. If I'm lucky, I got 20 years left. Maybe I got 30, 40, who knows? Maybe I only have 5. So I want to do something. Don't make me laugh, laugh, Mr. Mitch. I want to do something useful. And in my opinion, the Hong Kong, the problem with China, and the problem with the Hong Kong government that most of the citizens have. That's something I can do. I can help in my own small way. If I was safe in, say, Iraq, if I could be safe going there and I could do something with that, believe me, I would. But if, I saw an agency the other day that said, hey, we need somebody in Iraq, in Baghdad, somebody who's there, can you contact us? And I immediately thought, oh, I should go. And then I started thinking, well, I don't even know if I can raise enough money to go back to Hong Kong. How am I going to go all the way to Iraq? I'm going to have to get embedded. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And it's going to cost a lot of money. I can't do it. To do it right and do it safely, I can't do it. Not at this point. It's highly doubtful that I'd be able to do it. I'd probably, if I could do it, I'd have a ticket and a little bit of money for food and some expenses, and then I'd end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that'd be the end of me. And as much as some people might like that, I don't. I think what you were doing is also inspiring to your sons in some way. Yeah, I think so. I think every once in a while they get tired of seeing me constantly watching videos and streams about Hong Kong. But when I explain to them what's going on, then they understand. And I told you guys that Nicholas said to me, "Oh, that'll never happen in Thailand." And I said, "Don't never say never. Never say never, buddy, because it sure could happen." So, coming up with things that are useful to people. I mean, if I really wanted, I could go to an AIDS ward, or I could go to whatever, to an Ebola quarantined place. I could go somewhere like that. I could do that, but guess what? It all takes money anyway. So Hong Kong is a place that is, while it's expensive, compared to some of the other things, it's relatively inexpensive. I don't have a big, no agency is going to fork over the money. No agency, if I said to an agency, yeah, I want to go over to Iraq and cover it, but I need some expense money. That doesn't happen now unless you are somebody who's with National Geographic, Time Magazine, something like that. You need to be somebody who's out there who is working for, you need to be very, very established, considered at the top. You're basically, it's like being a world champion boxer. That's where you're at. Otherwise, you're not getting, nobody's going to say, we got your tickets covered, we got your hotels, they're already set up, here's some spending money here. That doesn't happen. to guys like me, to freelancers. For the most part, it doesn't happen. Okay? It just doesn't happen. And it's not going to. And I've resigned myself to that. Exactly, Mr. Mitch. And, but that doesn't mean you can't do a lot with the remaining portion of your life. And that's why my kids are so important to me. Because I tell them as straight as I can what to expect, why they need to do certain things, how to live their life. I help them grow up to be good human beings, good men. That's an important job. To me, it's the most important job. And same with my wife. I'm sure that's how she feels. It's not keeping her husband happy. That's not her number one job. At least not anymore. Used to be. But it's raising our kids. And, eventually they'll be out on their own. But there are other things. No, not any news agencies. There's one place that has 3 publications, 3 or 4. I don't know how many they got really, but at least 3 or 4. They're relatively small. Like one of them, I think, is a monthly. One of them is a weekly. One's a daily. On the East Coast. But first of all, they don't have much money because they're not able to charge a lot of money for their publications. They're certainly not going to pay my way over there. Now, maybe I'll make a little money from them. I haven't yet from them. The agency, the photo agency, yeah, okay, I've made some money from it, but it's only a couple $100. And, I've been waiting on this gallery thing to happen. It's supposed to happen this month or next month. I called my buddy up to find out a few things, and he didn't answer the phone. I don't know where he was or what he was doing, but I'm sure I'll get in touch with him soon, and hopefully that will help. But, it's that's why people use correspondence. And right now in Thailand, yeah, there are some things going on. And, if you notice, the channel has evolved or devolved. I don't want to say it's evolved, but in my opinion, it's evolved from just being me sitting around talking about nothing. In the very beginning, talking about women and why guys need to do this and do that. I mean, listen, at this point, Thailand it's a saturated subject. People know, I've said this a million times. People know somebody who's been to Thailand or they've been to Thailand. Maybe they need a little help about, what about this or what about that? But there's so many places now online. When I first came over here, there wasn't anything like that. Even forums couldn't tell you. I was still reading a book, and I always say this, it's Let's Go Thailand. I don't even know if they still sell Let's Go stuff. That was before Lonely Planet, or before I knew of it. And nowadays, you can have everything set up for you. You can set everything up yourself. It doesn't take much, and it doesn't take all. If you are halfway shrewd, halfway intelligent, you don't need a lot of help here. The videos are mainly to entertain and to show you things that maybe you might not know, or they're not extremely important. That's my opinion. Yeah, okay, I can show you the Chinese New Year. I can show you Songkran. I can show you all these things. And so can everybody else. 1 million people have done it. I'm thinking about Myanmar, and the reason I've been thinking about Myanmar so much, along with Hong Kong, Myanmar is relatively inexpensive to go to and to stay for, say, a month. Because you can't just go to these places and stay there for 3 or 4 days. Like the last trip to Hong Kong, I was only there for, 4 or 5 days? I think I got there Thursday night, and I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and came back Monday. or came back early Tuesday morning or something. Um, and it's very difficult to go and get into the flow and learn things. And the only reason I was able to do that is because I've been there 3 other times. But if I was to go and do what I want to do in Myanmar, I can't go for 3 days, 4 days. I'm not going to get anything done. This is not an event. This is something that it's a project. And so it's the same that with Hong Kong. The reason I'm trying to raise money now is so that I can stay for a good, solid 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully longer. Because I think it's important to do that. And in that time, maybe I can do something else. I can set a few other things up that make it easier for me to come back. I don't know. But I can't go to me. Listen, I haven't today, and the other day, I got 1 donation. Okay. $3. No, I got 2. $3 and $5. I made $8. The day before that, I made $3. Or the stream before that, I made $3. Today, I've made nothing. So this isn't working. And, it's my fault. I understand that. I need to find other ways. And I try. But, these days of me going places and, trying to make a little money from the streams and from the videos and the ad revenue, they're over, man. They're over. I made no money last month from YouTube. So that's why I wanted to do the GoFundMe. Now, I still may be able to do the GoFundMe, but I do have something going up in lieu of that, so that if it doesn't happen, I'm starting ASAP to try to get back. It's just a waste now. It seems like a waste of time. I could sit at Starbucks. Just sit at Starbucks and spend $2, $3 on a water or a coffee. I could just do that and shoot the shit, just like I'm doing right now. I could do that all the time. But I don't want to. If it's in between a trip, in between a project, in between going somewhere like doing the Chinese New Year. Okay, I think last year or a year before that, I tried to do it, and there was the problem with the chat and a little symbol, and I kept getting bumped off, and finally I just stopped. So, I will do that this month, and that's on the 25th. Longhorns will be here by then, which is good, but I doubt that he's going to be in the mood to go down there, just because he gets in, I think, on that day or that night or whatever. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know what else to say. I got nothing else to say. I'm not the only one that feels that Hong Kong is important, and every single person that I know there now, just about everybody, aside from the people based in Hong Kong, there's a few foreigners that are based in Hong Kong. Aside from the Hong Kongers who are covering what's going on for their agency or their newspaper or whatever, almost every person is a freelancer. And they're struggling. And most of them are leaving now because they've been there and they have run out of money or they can't continue to stay, So maybe that's just the way that it is, and I got to accept it and move on. I don't know, but I don't want to. I'm not at that point now where I'm ready to say, it's not important anymore. I might as well just give up. I'm not at that point. So, anyway, I'm going to put this out there one more time. Let me see if it works. Oh, I don't even have it now. Where is it? You got 24 people here, and you got like 2 or 3 people that are talking. This is another thing. So maybe it says something about me. Maybe it says something about my channel. Maybe it says something about the subject matter. I've lost when I went to Hong Kong, I've lost 50 people so far. I've lost 50 subscribers. My subscriber count has gone down by 50 people. Which, whatever. I don't want that to happen, but it did. And, I'm not going to be the guy doing chowderhead videos, like I said, talking about how guys need to do this and they need to do that when it comes to the women and yada, yada, yada. I'm just not going to do it. So, they can leave if they want to leave. I'll get new people. I'll get other people. And that's just the way it goes. That is to contribute to Hong Kong, to a fund for Hong Kong. And it's all, everything's in the description. It always is. Yeah, it's all there in the description. And, if I can't go, I can't go. The plan was to go in about 3 to 4 weeks. Because prices are going up during the Chinese New Year in Hong Kong. They're going way up. Prices for airplane tickets are ridiculous. One way is like $250 on Thai Smile when normally it's about $110. So we'll see what happens. Anybody got any suggestions, any questions, any whatever? You got 28 people out here and 2 people communicating with me. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Let's see here. Last night I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I also watched, what was that other movie I watched? What was it? Oh, Uncut Gems. I watched both of those movies. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night. And then I watched Uncut Gems the night before that. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, Mr. Mitch. I don't know. And quite frankly, it is what it is. Not much I can do. Let me see something here. Okay. Sorry, listening, but working. What a discussion. What about a discussion with another vlogger on the topic of Hong Kong for exposure? Well, Michael was in here earlier, Michael Yan, and if anybody knows about Hong Kong, it's him. I mean, he is the man when it comes to, but as far as foreigners go, I'm sure there are a lot of extremely capable people who are Hong Kong citizens, and maybe some other expats that I don't know about, or journalists, foreign journalists. I don't know. But as far as the people I know, he is the man. It ain't me. I've learned everything that I know about Hong Kong pretty much by cramming lots of information into my brain as quickly as possible. And you can't help but learn when you're around other people who are like-minded. They've got the same mission. And I can say that out of most of the people that I am surrounded by, they know what's going on there. And that's why they're still there. They try to stay there because they know how important it is. Because if you let one country get away with this, and then you let them get away in another place, and then they get away with it in another place, and another place, and another place, before you know it, half the world is under their control, and they're dictating everything that they can and cannot do. And personally, I don't like that. I don't like people telling me what to do, within reason. I don't like people telling me what to do, order me around. I don't want the government. The government, we need to tell the government what to do. They don't need to tell us what to do. That's not the way that it is in China. Of course, but they do it under the guise of we're helping our people. Yeah, sure you are. I'm sorry I don't buy that. I barely buy it with the United States. The majority of the time I don't buy it. But I don't think they're nearly as bad. Sorry to the people who disagree, but they're nowhere near as bad as the Communist Party. We take a lot of things for granted in the United States. But, he was in here, and he may still be listening. I know he's a busy guy. He doesn't have all that much time. He's always got things to do, and, he's operating on 2 hours sleep and that kind of stuff. So, it was good that he came in. Who am I going to talk to? Chili Lucas? I could, I don't know many vloggers that are, none in Thailand that I know of, that are covering or have covered Hong Kong. I don't know any. I know plenty of people in Hong Kong that would sit down with me. Well, not plenty, but I know a few. And a lot of them are leaving. People, and there's been the holidays and these kind of things. So, okay, I understand that maybe there was a little slack period of time for people because they want to go and they're going to fly back. Simon flew back to Australia. Another guy left. He went to Australia. This guy went here. This guy went there. Some are coming back now. So, yeah, it's a good idea. I just I'd have to look and see, well, who am I going to... I can do that there pretty easily. Excuse me. From here, it's much more difficult. And it's like the Belt and Road Initiative around the world. Yeah. Well, and I think it's kind of foolish for people to think that they're going to get away with dealing with China, and they're going to come out so much better because of it. I mean, think about it. Listen, when I went to Beijing for the Olympics, and I covered the Olympics. Hang on a second. And I covered the Olympics. Okay. Joe Rogan was talking about Hong Kong the other day, But when I covered the Olympics, I remember walking around and people offering me iPhones. And I was like, oh, why are they so cheap? And then I was like, oh, idiot. They're counterfeit. They're fakes. They were all fakes. And then somebody showed me, this is what happens when you use a fake. They have all kinds of these glitches. Which well, I'm not going to get into that. But, you get involved, and I can't say that every product from that's made in China is inferior. I think that's a huge stretch to say that. I think they've improved some of their products, but I still think that a lot of them are junk. The DJI is a Chinese company. And while their product is quite good, when you need parts and stuff like that, oh yeah, call them up. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah. I don't think that I have the profile that he wants to get me on his channel. Let's face reality there, Gennaro. Not at this point. He did talk to, what was that guy's name? Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was just the other day. It was like 2 streams ago, I think. Supposedly he's having Robert Downey Jr. on there, which, okay. This is the guy right here. Let me see if I can. Okay, good. Michael Malice. He was talking to him. Let me see if I can find it. I can always put the link up. Let's see here. Crush the Cartels. Ed Calderon. Well, I don't know where it is. Let me see. I'll just type it in here. Oh, this is a little bit different, I believe. Or maybe they changed the title. They have the clips where you just can watch little 5-minute clips. I'll just copy this. This might be exactly what I watched. I don't know. Where am I at? Here we go. You show him some live stream clips from him, and he might be interested. Maybe. First, I got to get over there, Gennaro. I need to go back. Seriously. I don't have enough stuff right now to do everything I'd like to do, And I think it's not about, me getting a lot out of it. I've talked about this. It's not like me going over there, like I profit and I make a ton of money and I'm so happy that I get to go. That's not what it's about. It's not about the money to pay the bills and everything. It's about going over there and bringing more exposure to what's happening there. And in turn, yes, I get a little bit more exposure. But how much more exposure do I actually get when I've lost 50 subscribers? I mean, seriously. And I didn't make any money off of YouTube last month. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I thought that I was getting some good exposure. But, I'll tell you what I told Jono, and I told a bunch of other people. I think it was online a couple of streams ago, where I was saying, there are people that if I got shot in Hong Kong or somewhere else, people would be like, oh, yeah, badass. And, of course, I got to go through all the pain and the suffering and maybe the death, and my family's got to go through everything. And for what? Seriously, for what? It's not like I'm making a bundle of money. I got to practically, I have to pimp myself out in order to try to get money to be able to go over there. And you know what? I think it's important. That's why I do it. But, how much exposure have I gotten? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I guess I could try to contact him through his website and all that other kind of stuff, but I wouldn't count on it. Let me put it that way. I wouldn't count on it. What do you mean it's real? Everything I do is real. That is me. I am real. What you see is what you get. That's part of my problem. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Well, let me see something. Let me check again. I've been talking about this. Now, I put up the link I put the link up twice now in the stream. And I have there is one of the, what do you call it? The gold, yeah, I'm the Joe Rogan of, listen, if I made a tenth of what he makes, you guys would, then you might say, there might be a lot of people that are like, hey, man, he's really going for it. He's just like Joe Rogan. He's even better. He shows all these things, but I don't make enough. It's simple as that. You know, all this shit takes money. I mean, he's got a crew. He's got a couple of guys. He's got what's the guy's name? He had a couple guys. He had Brian Redband. He has the guy, I think Jamie is his name, who helps him with everything. You know, and I like him. I'm not hating on him at all. I think he's great. He's fantastic. 100 times better than me. They were okay. And they were okay. The ratings were okay. I did make some money, but that was at a time when it was much easier to make money from YouTube. I don't know, but I have a feeling that even this stream, as soon as the stream goes up, it's going to say, you need to have this reviewed to see if it's monetizable. Every single stream I put up, and Gennaro, remember you said, oh, I think some of your stuff got like 1,000. Man, I had one video that I put up years ago. It has like almost 900,000 views. And I made the most amount of money from that. Now it makes next to nothing. But the one stream where I had like 6,000 views. It's slowly going up. It's under 6,000, but it's almost 6,000. I don't know how much did I make. I can tell you guys how much I made off of that. It wasn't much. Well, no, they wouldn't let me monetize it. That's the thing. That was what the problem. That's what I was going to get at. They said this is not monetizable. I clicked review, asked them to monetize, asked them to review it, and they said, no, you can't monetize this. And they don't give you a reason. They just say it's not monetizable. Sorry. Too bad. Yeah, interviews with interesting people. Well, I mean, yeah, that's good. That is good, too. Maybe I don't know all that many interesting people here in Thailand. That's why it's good to do something with, like, Jono once in a while. Every once in a great while with Tom. There are some things that I can do. Yeah, okay. But that's not doing anything for me at this point. Oh, you're in Pattaya. Oh. Well, you and, what's his name there? Soy Dog Cowboy should get together. Let me see something here. You see, I lost another 2 subscribers from last night. And, some of it is YouTube purging channels and that kind of thing. So I understand that, and I'm not all that dejected about it. But, I'm changing kind of the focus of the channel. But it'd be better that they were going up. They never have gone down until YouTube said they're going to change their algorithm, 2-3 months ago, whatever it was. Let me see, what's the, oh, here. Let me see this here. MedTech, how you like Pattaya? How you liking it? Let me see if I can show you guys this something here. What was the name of it? Was that live? Let me think. Yeah, it was live. Of course, it was live. Okay. Well, it's the next page. Too bad Soy Dog Cowboy's not here. He could, you guys could talk right in here and meet up somewhere. I'm still trying to find this thing. Yeah. All right. This one, wow. I forgot about that. Now, I did the stream. Remember the Bunyan lady? The one that sat down with me at Starbucks? The music in the background, they declared the video ineligible because of some copyright claim for music or something. So, YouTube has contributed a little bit. I take the blame. I don't want to call it blame, but I take responsibility for what happens to this channel and what goes on with this channel. But what happened to the one with 5,000 or whatever it was? 6,000, where is it? Can I find it? I don't know. I hope I didn't. I don't think I took it down. It's not what I do. You do? You do what? I'm just curious. How many thumbs up and thumbs down do I have right now? Let's see if I can find this thing. The new YouTube creator studio. They've changed around the way that content makers do things. Oh, here it is right here. All right, so that should be done. How many views did the therapy session with the guy in that coffee? Not very many, to be truthful. It got a lot for the first. A lot of people watched while he was on, and then once he left, everything went down. Then nobody wanted to listen to me. They want to listen to him. Uh, oh, oh! I didn't even know MetTech. I didn't even know you got a channel with all kinds of videos and stuff. I didn't even know that. Okay, so let me show you guys this. Can't see the numbers, only the hands. Wonder why. Let me see if I can put this up. What do we have here? Downloads. Well, it's not up here. Where? Desktop? Oh, is this it? I think so. Okay. All right. This is what I get. Should come up in a second. Boy, really long lag, man. I thought you get to choose if the viewers see numbers. I know some vloggers only show hands to hide the thumbs down. I thought you guys can always see it. I didn't know you couldn't see it. Let me see something here. This is video details. Details. What is this? Oh, it doesn't tell you. It's not telling me right now. Yeah, there's no way for me to tell. Anyway, this is the video. And, you know, I had 5,310 views. And they said it's not suitable. Confirmed by manual review. And if you look there, 45 thumbs up, 27 thumbs down. Now, that could have been, you know, pro-Beijingers, 50 centers. I don't know. You know. But that's what happens, and it happens much more frequently now than in the past. And I don't think that I've, you know, I do think I've changed. I don't swear as often, much to the delight of my parents, but to this dismay of the people watching. Let me try something here. What is the deal with this? There we go. I mean, some of the streams and the streams more so. The streams from Hong Kong did fairly well. They didn't make a huge amount of money, but they got more views than I normally would get. Which, you know, okay, fine. Segments that have an emotional content, yeah. Well, that's why they probably did better than a lot of the other ones, because you know, when they see people getting excited and at the police, and it's first of all, it's exciting, and then I'm there, and you know, you hear me swearing and saying things that you might not hear me say otherwise, then I guess maybe that helps. But I also noticed, I'm looking at one here, it's 1,546 views. Hong Kong, full-blown conflict, 20 thumbs up, 22 thumbs down. Now, again, that could all be from 50 centers who don't like what's going on. They don't like me streaming from there. They don't like what I'm saying. And that's just tough shit. You know, which brings me to the next thing, which is I don't really kiss up to people very well. Especially people who, you know, like the police. I tend not to kiss up to them. I'm not rude, but I don't kiss up to them because for what? You know, why do I have to? Especially some 50 center. Why do I have to kiss up to them? You know, maybe if they listen to some other people besides just, you know, their neighbor, then, you know, they would understand what's going on in Hong Kong more. I don't know. Anyway, it's the video, where is it at? My Thai Girl or something like that. Let me pull it up for you. It's got 860,000 or something like that. 870, I don't know, I haven't looked in a while. Let's see. Oh, I don't even have those up anymore, that thing there. Hang on a second. Sort by most popular. It says 869,000 views. 50 Center is a person hired by the Chinese government to create aggravation, fake news, whatever, um, against people who are pro-Hong Kong or anti-China, anti-Chinese government. They supposedly make 50 cents if they get somebody responds or gets into an argument with them. They get 50 cents. So they call them 50 centers. And this video is this thing is old, man. 6 years, it's got to be 6, 7 years old. I thought that was great. That I did it was such a stupid video. I just commented on some movie that I saw. And I used to have the movie up in the members section. I think I still do, actually. It's in the members section of the website. You know, those were the days when I was getting a lot of views. You like this Chinese story. Vlogger, oh yeah, I know who that guy is. Just posted a video where Chinese media captured video pictures from various video and wrote stories about his wife. About his wife left him and went back to China. Oh, God. So, you know, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. The Chinese government and people that are connected in whatever way, as an employee, as an official, they will lie through their teeth and deny everything and get angry if somebody responds. And you know, this is the thing. And I've seen some things happen in Hong Kong where some of these Chinese, these pro-Beijingers, they come out, there's 3 or 4 of them, not very many. And they start yelling and screaming at the Hong Kongers, and they actually get in their faces, and they just, and I thought, man, you know, if it was me, some guy gets in my face, if I tell him, dude, get out of my face, and he doesn't get out of my face, he's going down. You know, I hope he knows some kung fu or some, you know, karate or whatever. He better know how to defend himself, because some of these guys, they are not the right people to be attacking people for what they say. You know, you don't need to physically attack somebody or threaten them. That doesn't have to happen. But, like, this doesn't surprise me. I mean, look at the other guy, the Serpent Zet guy, Serpent ZA. He's in America now. Guess why? Because he kept getting hassled by the Chinese government. For what? You probably wasn't doing anything wrong. Because they don't like you because you don't think like them. Well, guess what? You don't have to think like I do. I don't force you to think how I do. You don't agree with what I do. You don't agree with where I go, what I say. Okay, you don't have to agree. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But I'm my own island, but I'm not the Communist Party of China. I'm not Putin. I'm not Trump. But in some places, you say the wrong thing and you are dead. You go to the wrong area. It's not like you're going to get beat up or you're going to get shot by some gang member. No. You go to the wrong area and you might get your head cut off. You might be used as in a propaganda war. You know, all these things can happen to you. And that's the thing. One thing about Thailand is the Thais are fairly tolerant when it comes to religion. You should be careful what you say here, though. There are some things that will set Thais off. Now, one thing that used to get me is that people would ask me, so do you love Thailand? And while I do, there are things I don't like about it. But you don't need to be bringing those up. Unless they start asking you stuff and they really want to know, well, you asked for it, you got it. But generally, you know, anyway. So, we all know about these things. The question is, what's going to be done? And I know that Longhorn says he doesn't really care about a lot of things, but he has done his part. He has done a lot. And I'm not going to get into that either. I think people who know him or know of him know what I'm talking about. But he's put in his time. He's put in his hard work. Threats made. Yeah, you see, this is the thing. I will never go back to the mainland again. I can tell you that right now. And I will say never. I will not go there. Well, not only did he get threatened and harassed, but also Serpent ZA got threatened and harassed. Now, they're fortunate that they were able to get out of the situation. This is what I mean, and it's like, all right, so can I do something with my words? Listen, I'm a halfway decent writer. I'm a hack. I'm not a fantastic writer. I might be funny sometimes when I write and everything, but when it comes to like writing for a big publication, it ain't going to happen. They're not going to let me. That chance of that ever happening is pretty slim. I'm not going to be writing for National Geographic. I can tell you that right now. They want the best of the best. That's not me. I admit that to myself. Same with photography. Now, with photography, I think maybe there is a chance that at some point maybe I'd get lucky. I'd take a series of shots that maybe somebody would want that is, Time Magazine or whatever. I got picked up twice by HBO. And that was on HBO Sports. So, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, what else? I look at it slightly different. I look at it as, well, okay, I have a platform, although it shrunk by 52 in the last couple of months. I have a platform. What good can I do? What good can I do with it? I'm going to help guys with chicks. Listen, if you're that stupid with women, you're always going to be that stupid with women. You either got it or you don't. You're either a man and you're the kind of guy who you're, what do you call it? Not the type A, an alpha. You either got what they want or you don't. Some guys aren't the best looking guys, but they got plenty of game. Some guys got it all. And they got a lot of money. Some guys got luck. That's me. I got a little bit of luck. So, I don't think at this point there's any point for these kind of things anymore. I don't really see myself as being this guy helping men with women. I look at that and I go, ugh. I did it for some fun in the beginning, and then they started doing pretty well, and so that's why I continued. What are you going to do? You're going to show the inside of a 7-Eleven, inside of the mall? How many times can you do that? How many people have done that? Oh, God, Beyond Trinity. That's pretty funny. I haven't read a Penthouse forum in about 40, when was the last time? I was a teenager, and I wasn't like 17. I was like 15, so what's that? 42 years ago? I got a letter. I get no letters anymore. People don't write me anymore. They know I don't want to do it, so they don't write me. And, if I do get a letter, it's from some moron who can't string together a sentence and who makes no sense. And then I'm like, what am I doing this for? Listen, I got a message. I got a message. I guess it was last night from some guy, and this happens to me quite a bit. I'll read some of these messages that I'm talking about. What is this? Okay, this was the video. Good Thai girls, Surat, Suratani, Myanmar, and money for my buffalo. So this guy writes, I think I overspent again. Miss Lisa Manobun, can you help me pay off my credit card bill? Thank you. Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Then I get another one where the guy he sees the video with that I did about Chucky and not using the bum gun. And stank ass is non-existent here in Thailand. I wouldn't know because I don't check people's asses. And I haven't checked all the asses in Thailand. And nor do I want to see if they stink. Then I got this one. He's pretty obvious he's a Filipino. Look up Nation Master, which compares crime in both countries. Philippines, 85,000 crimes is slightly higher, 6.8 suicide per 100,000. Thai, 565,000 crimes. 5.9 suicide only per 100,000 and more. Scammer. Call me a scammer. Okay. I'm a scammer because I compared every single person who ever spoke to me negatively about Thailand, every person except one, comparing Thailand and the Philippines. Every single one of them was a Filipino. Now, I've said it many times. I got nothing against Filipinos. I just thought that Thailand was a better place to live than the Philippines. If you don't like my opinion, fuck you. That's as simple as that. Now, this guy I wrote this, how many years ago was this that I did this video? Had to be 4 years ago. Sorry for swearing. Oh, no, this is 5.5 years ago that I did this video, and I will say people are still commenting on it. Got 136,000 views. It's like selling your soul to the devil. Where's the other one? Okay, I got asked the other day. I did the video on the bamboo, the sticky rice, and the guy asked me, "Did you record this or just replaying another video, somebody else's video?" How often do I put anybody else's videos up on my channel? Where's the one that I saw? Oh, here's one kissing my ass. I will say this. Excellent video. The demeanor of the vlogger, the tranquil editing style, and great music choice all make the video work so damn well in a sea of crappy videos of people trying to do the same thing. Best of all, the voiceover narration just works. I feel like Morgan Freeman is pulling out his hair now that he has some competition. Maybe not in the voice, but the ambiance. LOL. Here's one. Your thoughts on the main issue for... Yeah, I already talked about that one. Oh my God, this ban on prostitution is feared as prostitution prohibition on drinking. Thai economy runs on Thai women pussy. They cannot ban it. Ugh. This is what I attract to my channel by making those kind of videos. And you wonder why I don't like to do them. Oh, yeah. Money in the swear jar. Yeah, well, I could use some money. I haven't got one freaking contribution today. None. Not towards Hong Kong. Nobody wants me to go back to Hong Kong. They want me to sit here and bitch and moan like an old man, like a grumpy old man. I'm going to change the name of my channel to The Grumpy Old Man. What is this? Happy Christmas, Scott Mallon. All the breast. Mind how you blow. Rest your nut and clear some space in that warehouse. Of a brain ready and waiting for the new year and all that. You may need it. You may you need may it reach you. Peace, I'm out. Oh, Jesus. You know, I'd say the first thing that we need to do in the United States is work on the education system. Yeah, the chat numbers went up. The number of people speaking went up by like 1 or 2. And that's it. That's where I'm at right now. No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Listen, if there really was a Jesus, for as hard as I've worked all my life, really, I've had a few good times where I didn't have to work that hard. But for the majority of it, for as hard as I've worked, and as hard as many other people work, why wouldn't Jesus just drop a bag of money on their head once in a while to say, hey, you know what? Good job. You've been working hard, and I see that you are dedicated and committed. So I'm sorry. And more importantly than that, I go back to the argument of why doesn't Jesus take care of the little kids who have cancer or AIDS or this or that? Why doesn't Jesus provide them with a cure and not make them suffer? So I don't buy this, Jesus, Allah. I don't buy this religious stuff. I'm sorry. I just can't buy into it. There's too many things. Look how fucked up our world is. It's fucked up because of religion. I don't think it's better because of religion. It's better because of people like me who say, as much as I'd like to kill some people, and there are a few that I've wanted to kill in my life, not many, but a couple, I would have killed them already. They'd be dead. All right, MedTech. Yeah, see, Chinese owners. Take that for what it's worth. They'll make you suffer in the sweat box. Really, seriously, if religion is all it's cracked up to be, why? If you want to watch something, what's that movie by that comedy special, whatever, the Bible or whatever it is with Ricky Gervais? Watch what he says about it. Watch that movie with Bill Maher. And I don't always like him, but watch that movie he made about religion, where he goes around and he corners people and asks them all kinds of questions. Watch that stuff. Mallon's verbal tirade. I don't have the vocabulary at my disposal. My mind is not quick enough. My wit is not quick enough to come up with various hilarious statements like Ricky Gervais. Maybe I could sit and write some, Then you got to have the timing to spit them out. But, if you really think about it, why does Jesus let animals burn in Australian fires? Why does he let them do that? What, is he trying to set things right? But more importantly, why does he let innocent people get harmed? Why does he let innocent children get harmed? I just have a real problem with that. How can I justify it? Yeah, I know. I attract, I could tell you that for the most part, I attract people that lean to the right a little bit, if not a lot, that are atheists, slightly misogynistic. Maybe I say the things that a lot of people don't want to say, but they know are true. I don't know. But let's say that, this boxer, I'm not going to get into who it was, but he was a world champion boxer at a lower weight. He was a Mexican guy. And he told me, he said, the only reason I'm still fighting is for the women. I'm like, what? He's like, I got plenty of money. He said, I don't need any more money. He's like, I got, a couple businesses. They make money. I got money in the bank. He's like, I'm fine. I keep fighting. He's like, yeah, okay. I like being champion and everything. I like the perks. But I fight for women. He's single. Wasn't married. He goes into a place, in in Mexico. He gets some hot-looking chicks all the time. That's what his reason for continuing is. Well, I mean, listen, I think if there's a lot of men out there that if they had their way, if they had some hot woman in their bed every day and every night, they'd probably get up just to eat, and shit. That's it. Eat, sleep, and shit. And then they got the woman next to them, and they do whatever they want to do with them. That's it. They wouldn't do anything. Nothing would get done. There would be no work. There would be no politics. It'd be just like all about sex and eating, sleeping, and shitting. Yeah, well, obviously, I'm not very good at making people believe. When I went to Jono's and I talked about this a lot, and I told him, I said, maybe I'm just not good at earning money. I'm not somebody who's good at earning it or making others believe in me enough to raise money. There are people who are fundraisers. They're incredible. They make millions and millions of dollars for places. I sacrifice small animals to make the world a better place. Is that wrong of me? Well, I eat animals, and I don't want to stop. In fact, I got 5 pork chops in the refrigerator right now, defrosting, because I'm going to make 2 up for me, so I can have 1 for lunch, and then I've got 3 others that I'm going to cook up for the kids and possibly me. Yeah. So, Jono's good. He, I did the stream with him the other day. He's doing good. He's also, he doesn't have to do anything if he doesn't want to, and yet he finds himself without sufficient time. He just, so yeah, but he's doing good. But I was talking to him about that, the other day, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what it is, there's 26 people watching now. All right, they want to hear me yell and scream about, Jesus, Buddha, whatever. I don't have. If somebody wants to believe, I don't have anything against it. I just don't agree with it. You can believe in whatever you want. You can believe in the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus. It doesn't matter to me. I don't want to believe, though. And the problem comes when somebody wants me to convert me and make me believe. Because I've already made my mind up. I don't believe. I'm a non-believer. No, he tries. He tries to make some jokes up now and then. They're still relatively dry, and I wouldn't rate them as extremely funny jokes, but he can be funny sometimes, yeah. He's a pretty funny guy, but it's not, it doesn't come through in his jokes sometimes. Although I could tell him to put together a set. That I could stream that. I could let him bomb all by himself. I mean, I could do that. Although, who knows? He might, make you guys piss yourself laughing. I don't know. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, and he's got his act together. But he's experiencing the same thing that most people who are, say, 65 years old, and now they realize, okay, well, what am I going to do with myself every day? Oh, God. Longhorns, leave it to you to make a grand entrance. Well, and, it's so funny because he and I were talking about the whole sharding yourself, shitting yourself, the loose bunghole. How when you got to shit, you got to shit. Before, you could usually hold it forever. At least I could. But I just heard Joe Rogan the other day talking about his loose butthole. He's like, I know now. I can't even fart. I don't trust myself. Which I found hilarious because I'm like, wow, so he's just like us. He's getting older. He doesn't trust his farts. And he admitted to shitting himself every once in a while. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he could find it. I don't think he really wants to, though. Right now, I think he's on a mission to get his little studio set up to do portraits. And it's not to do, portraits of naked women, kinky stuff and all that. It's really just because he wants to do it, and that's it. He just wants to do portraits of people. It's not about money. It's not about, anything like that. Which is a good way to, it's a good hobby for him, but he hasn't really started doing it yet. I think he's still waiting for some equipment. He got some equipment when I was there. Softbox, and, we got a little bit of stuff that he's using, so, he can do that. I told him, I said, listen, get you a bunch of girls, and tell me about it, man. I don't want to do that, though. I don't want to sit around. I don't want to sit here and shoot the shit with, a group of, you got, what did I have today? The highest, I think, was like 35 or something, which is shit for this channel. I don't want to sit and talk and rant and rave to 35 guys and only 3 guys are commenting. I think I'm wasting my time. Might as well go get some job teaching English somewhere. Seriously. That's ridiculous. Ugh. Please don't gross me out. I don't need that. I don't need to be grossed out. I mean, that's the other thing. It's just, when you're young, you think, oh, yeah, well, I did. I used to think, oh, I look good. I look good. Oh, yeah. Well, look at me. Look at the muscles in my legs. Oh, wow. Ooh. Now I'm like, ooh, I don't want to look at me. I don't want to look at me anymore. Too damn old. Nobody tells you about this. When you're a young man, nobody tells you about being an old man and everything it entails. Like not trusting your farts. Carl, are you lurking in the background? I'd like to know that. The reason I bring up Carl is because Carl, and Jono to a lesser extent, and a few people, they give me hope, actually, that this channel actually does some good for people who just, listen, they enjoy seeing me do some things, yeah, but the fact that maybe they got over here and like with Carl, he'd really never been outside of the United States or been into Asia, and he was really apprehensive about coming over here. Jono was apprehensive to the point where he studied up for 10 years. And then they make a go of it, and, it's like the little bird flying leaving the coop. They're all grown up. It's like my kids. That's another thing. Yeah. Get no respect. What can I say? I get no respect. I got my kids now. They're not like little kids anymore. It's not, Daddy, oh, Daddy, when you do this, what happens? Hey, Daddy, did you used to do this when you were young? No, I don't get that anymore. I get like, hey, guys, which one are you supposed to do the dishes? I'll do them. Woo. Or I get, don't worry, I'll do them. And then guess what? I wake up in the morning, there's a sink full of dishes. Do you give me hope? I don't know about that. I got that. You know, the old lady's griping and groaning about getting old herself. And she's a lot younger than me. And I'm like, ha, how don't you dare bring up getting old. You wait until you get to be my age. Then you can start complaining about being old. You know. So I got the kids like that. Then it's like, yesterday I'm thinking to myself, it's 7:30 at night. Everybody left at 7 in the morning. Which, I don't mind being alone. But like, it's 7:30 at night and I'm like, where's my kids? Alex comes home. Hey, what's going on? You have a nice day? Yeah. Of course, what's for dinner? Your dinner's in the refrigerator. Just put it in the microwave and heat it up. Okay. 8 o'clock, 8:30. Where's Nicholas? Call Nicholas. Nobody answers the phone. I got no idea, Gennaro. No idea. I haven't talked to her in a while now. I got Nicholas coming home at 8:30. He's got a girlfriend, so I'm wondering what he's doing. You know, why do you got to stay in school so long? I'm busy doing a project, you know. So the kids don't come home late now. And I'm like going, this is what happens when you get old. So I'm starting to understand what happens. People get older. The kids all fly the coop. They got their own lives going on. And then, I don't think you do, beyond Trinity. I'll bet you, well, I'm not going to bet you anything. I'll bet you a dollar you don't know what I need. No, Jaredol is wrong. That is wrong. Yeah, so now it's like, when I want the kids around, they're not around. When I want to go do something, you know, I tell Al, oh, how about we go and do this? Nah, I'm busy. What are you doing? I got to go play guitar with my friends. Okay? You know. This is my life. So, I guess maybe, you know, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, when I was in Hong Kong, I felt good. Very happy. Happy to be there. Unhappy to see what is going on there, but happy to be there because I think it's important that whether I like what's going on there or not, it's important. Then I come back here and it's like, I get told I need Geritol. My kids, you know, it's like the kids. It's you know, it's not like when they're little, you pick them up and they're so happy to see you. One of the best things that happened to me with my kids, one of the most memorable things is when I was having my was it when I was having my leg worked on, or I forget what it was, but I had to go and do something, and the wife and kids were going to meet me at the airport. And Alex and Nicholas just ran at me, and they ran and jumped on me. They were so happy to see me. They ran and jumped on me and started hugging me. And I was like, wow, I didn't know they were, you know, they needed, you know, they wanted to see me. They missed me so much, you know. I was like, wow, I was shocked. You guys are all wrong. Yeah, what's on the agenda for Bangkok? Well, I know one thing that's on the agenda. I'll take care of that probably tomorrow. Maybe today. I don't know. Sing along? No. Cialis? No, I'm not quite at that point yet. It ain't like it used to be, but it still works. Lawrence Welk. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I know. I know. Even Nicholas. You know, Nicholas is, I would say, Got dandruff now? I need to shave my head. Nicholas is even more independent, or as independent as Alex. They are both very independent, which is what you want. I do want that. I understand it. It's a matter of coming to grips with it. I have to come to grips with it. And, I've been trying to get my photography career, if you want to call it that, been trying to get that going again. And so I need to be doing a lot of things that are keeping me busy because I got the empty nest syndrome. Yes, it's starting to hit me. And the wife is working all the time. And then when she's not working, she's usually like doing the kids' laundry, cleaning the house. Yeah, your children are only on loan. That is so true. And, believe me, now I appreciate my parents so much more than when I was young. And my mother said it to in front of my kids once. She said, yeah, he was a terror when he was young. He was a terror. Are you kidding? He was the worst kid. He was a terrible kid. He wasn't a good boy. And Alex was like, really? Tell me more, Grandma. Ugh. I couldn't believe it. Sing along with Mitch. Ugh. I'll go anywhere, Gennaro. Never been to Poseidon Pet Pong. Went once for a drink to Therme just to see what it was like. Listen, those places they're gone. They're done. They'll never be what they used to be, and what they are now is nothing compared to what they used to be. Especially Therme. I mean, that place used to be the bomb. From when it opened originally, like in 1969, until, I don't know how many years ago, 10 years ago, something like that, 12 years ago. There was a time when Therme was open until 6 a.m. There was a time when the bars closed at 2 a.m. and the girls were half naked or all naked. And if they wanted and they just felt like partying, they'd go to Therme. Those were the days. It's nothing like that anymore. People don't understand. So, I don't get depressed about that because I'm not involved in that scene anymore and I don't really want to be, and, I don't care. Listen, Clinton Plaza. Most people don't even know about Clinton Plaza. The Rock Hard A Go-Go, the dollhouse that was there, all those places. The future isn't what it used to be, and the past is always better. And right now, the present, it ain't all that great. Especially if you know what it was like in the past. That's what I mean. It's not like it's not that great right now. Okay, there's some good parts of it. Yeah, of course. It's depressing. Really. It's depressing to watch the news. Which I try not to, but, I feel the need most of the time now, especially with Hong Kong. I'm still keeping up with Hong Kong. Let's see, where are we at with the bot? Is it still 30.2626? That was the other place. Clinton Plaza, people knew about it going down. Now it's 30.2655, which is... Okay. That was the place on, Soy 8? There used to be a group of bars. I think it was Soy 8. And, they were supposed to leave, I guess, and the owner of the land wanted to put something up. And in the middle of the night, He basically had a bunch of people bulldoze the place. Yeah, I mean, let me just tell you something. If you are somebody who lives here, now, if you like to party, and drink. You like to drink, and you like to hang out with, women, and you're not looking for anything. You don't care how smart they are. You don't care if they can carry on a conversation. You don't care if they sound stupid or they make you laugh at them or whatever. If you don't care about all these things and you like to party and you like to dance, well then, Pattaya, Bangkok, okay, they got some great things for you. But most people who are here for a long period of time, unless they're involved in that scene for whatever reason, they grow out of it. They just do. I got friends who, they were hardcore. Even more than me. And once I stopped, they just continued. And every single night they'd go out. Every single night. And almost every night they'd pull some girl and they do their thing, going from place to place to place. First of all, it takes a lot of money. And most of them are like, man, I don't want to piss away all my money every month on this. So most of them, they slow down or they stop. Soy 11? I'm thinking of 7/1, soy 11. Transparency is alive and well, and I know that because they look right through you. Here he comes with the jokes. We need some jokes. Make me laugh, Jono. All right, you know what? I got to put this up. I'm going to do this while we're talking. I'm going to put something up here because I need to, for my own edification. Let's see. Can I do it? Build. Text. Let's see. What is this? This could go down here. Yeah, everybody says, oh, soy 11. Yeah, that's the climax and is it climax? Is that what it was? Yeah, they're not go-go bars. Gennaro, there are freelancers and stunners everywhere. And I gotta tell you, I gotta tell everybody this. Yes, there are some gorgeous women in Thailand. But I dare say there are gorgeous women everywhere. I think it's how their personalities are polar opposite of what many people see in Western women that attracts them, besides their bodies and their looks. But there are hot women everywhere, okay? And I gotta say this: while there are some hot women, there are some ugly, really ugly women. There are some Thai women that you would be like, that's Thai? She's Thai? What is this here? All right. You go on a bus. You go on a Songtao. You go on the SkyTrain. If you're lucky, you'll see one or two really good-looking girls. Women. You will see one or two good-looking women. If it's a great day, you go to the mall, you might see 10, 15. But as a percentage of the women that you see, a lot of not so great looking women. Chubby, old. Don't tell me about sitting on the Songtao, because I sit on the Songtao, and maybe there's one cute girl on the Songtao. Majority are old ladies or women young women who are not attractive at all. I hate to burst your bubbles. There are hot-looking women everywhere in the world. Beauty. I don't know I forgot that. Jono, I got a terrible memory. But I remember Richard Pryor saying that, beauty is only skin deep, and then I don't remember how to finish it. Availability is what's important. Well, Gennaro, if you want availability, you hang out in one of the areas, one of the red light districts in Bangkok, or you go down to Pattaya or Phuket, or, even Chiang Mai or Hua Hin or whatever. Yeah, they got some. If you want a decent-looking chick who is a regular girl, then you better start ahead of time on these little, dating apps and online and whatever. You better start looking for them then, because I'll tell you what, you come here one time, unless you're a good-looking guy and you got plenty of dough and you don't really care about spending it, the chance of meeting a woman that you go, wow, she's smoking hot, I like her, she's funny, she's legit, she doesn't play games, she's not, oh yeah, that's what it was. She's not just out for my money. Your chances slim to none to find one in like one trip. And if you're a great looking guy, you're young, you're 25 years old, you're studly looking, and you got a little going on for yourself, and you probably didn't have any problems dealing with women back home, then you're not going to have any problems here. If you just want to have fun, Gennaro, you can have all the fun you want. You can go to Nana, Soy Cowboy, Pat Pong. You can go to all these places, Pattaya. You can go any of these places. You go bar hopping. You might find one in the first bar. I highly recommend going to a second and third bar. Don't just latch on to the first one you see. Go to a club for a while, whatever. But these chicks, they're going to want some cash. They want some cash. Who doesn't? Can't blame them. And, if you go over, that's the thing. If you go over on a trip and you're going to be here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sock away enough money where, you come over and, you got a little friend, you got somebody to keep you warm at night. There is no real spectacle, Gennaro. You'll be over that in about, if you're a little bit hardcore, which I don't think you are, listen, I've been just about every red light district in Southeast Asia, and I'm over it in about 30 seconds. But I would say it might take you, 1 or 2 nights, couple days, 1 or 2 nights. You see what's going on at Nana. You see what's going on, Walking Street. It's like a temple. You seen one, you seen them all. I mean, really. They're different. Same thing with vaginas. They're different. They're shaped a little differently. They got different color, a little different skin tone to them. Some are bigger and smaller. You got the little runway on some of them. You got the Fu Manchu. You got all kinds of things. But it's basically the same thing. It's a vagina. It's the same thing. It's a red light district. It's a bunch of brothels. The only thing is they got loud music playing. If you really want to figure out what a go-go bar is all about, go in at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, they're not playing the music, and there's not a ton of people in there. It's just like maybe 1 or 2 girls there eating some food, and an old lady there who's cleaning up the floor or something. Go in and see what it looks like then, and you'll be like, this place is a shithole. Most of them are shitholes. And, you go down like in Soy Cowboy, there's rats running around. But, you crank up the music, you give people a few drinks. You got some naked girls or half-naked girls running around. They're rubbing up against you. You got a little wood going on, and that's when the little head starts thinking and the big head doesn't. But, and go to Pat Pong. Ugh. You want a shithole? Go to Pet Pong. If you really want to go high end, you can. You're going to go to a Soapy. And you'll pay a couple $100. Well, Gennaro, if you come over here, let me know. Let Mr. Longhorns know when you're here. Maybe he'll be here at the same time. Let Soy Dog Cowboy, although he's still a little, I don't want to say green because I don't think he's green, but he's relatively new. Maybe Longhorns is too, I don't know. He's not as jaded they're not as jaded as I am. I'm jaded to that scene. I think Jono is as well. Jono would rather go out and have a lunch. And, if he could scam on the chick selling beer or selling, the waitress, he would, if he really wanted to. But I think that's a little more his style than going to a G club or a go-go bar. Go to a G club, and if you don't know what you're doing, forget about it. You might as well not. You can go and, oh, wow, oh, cool. But you're going to need to learn the ropes a little bit. And I've talked about them before. And I used to go when I was involved in boxing. I've never been back. I don't go to them. And even if I had a lot of money, I wouldn't go to them. It's just not my style, Well, I think he's slightly seasoned, He's not like some 20-year guy or something like that, But he knows the ropes. But like you said, never been to a G club. There was a time when I admitted I tested out the Soapies. I go to this place, I go to that place. I would ask. I remember asking the pharmacist once, what did he think the best place was? Well, yeah, and that's the big thing, Jono. I can remember. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm not in a good mood. I wasn't ranting about anything. I wasn't doing anything like that. I'd go into some club, and if I went in alone and I was supposed to meet somebody there or something, and I'm sitting there, and you got a bunch of naked chicks dancing there at the time, a lot of times you could see Bush, what was the name of that place I used to go to all the time? Mandarin. Used to go there quite a bit. And you'd be underneath on the bottom floor, and then upstairs there'd be the girls dancing. They didn't wear underwear, so you'd be like looking up at beavers. And the chicks there would, they wouldn't have their top on, and in front of you. And what would happen is I'd just be sitting there, I'd be sipping my drink, especially if I wasn't getting shit-faced. Yeah, I mean, listen, you go to a G club, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't speak any Thai. You're ripe for the taking. You are the kind of guy that they want. Or don't want. And when I say that, I mean you're the kind of guy that they want because they figure they can pull one over on you. Not to mention it's a lot of money. You can spend a lot of money in G clubs. And the girls there want money. They're not like going to go with you for like, oh, you want $1,500 tonight? No. Try now? Oh my goodness. Try 5,000 baht. If they hook up with you, it's because, they expect you to give them 50,000, 100,000 a month. They're trying to latch onto a whale. It's not because they go, oh, he's so cute. Nah, man, these chicks are business women. They are business people. I never really liked clubs. I did go to some when I was younger. Every once in a while I did all right, but I never really liked them because I never really liked to drink all that much. And when I did drink, usually it was in Thailand. In the very beginning, I would drink because I wanted to loosen up, and I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, oh. And what happens is the girls would look at you. They'll look at you, and they'll smile. They'll put on this fake smile. Hey, why you no smile? You no happy? Come on, happy. And I wanted to tell them, shut the fuck up, honey. Don't tell me when to smile. I don't want to smile. If I want to smile at you, it's going to be a real smile. It's not that I'm unhappy. It's not that I'm super happy and I'm all smiled out. No, most of the time it's like, all right, listen, make me laugh and I'll smile. Do something that, if you're doing something that makes me smile and standing there against the pole and swaying back and forth, once you've seen it, it ain't going to do it for you. You're going to be like, big deal. And the other thing is that a lot of the go-go club, the go-go bars, you got chicks who are dancing under red lights. So, imagine, you see them in the red light and you're like, oh my God, she's gorgeous, what a body, wow! You get them back home, they're under a regular light. You can see everything now. The stretch marks, the zits, the hairy legs. But in the red light, oh, she's beautiful. You got to get real, They don't want to leave Thailand. Most of them don't want to leave Thailand. If they are, they're leaving on a vacation. Those are the old days, man. When I first came over here, yeah, maybe it's like, I want fine farang. He, very good to me. Take care good. Take care of my family. And, maybe I go live Switzerland. Something like that. And I still remember, what? I would never become bored with watching naked women. Yes, you will, Gennaro. Believe me. You will. You would, you will, and I guarantee it. Yeah, it's the Bangkok Shuffle. It's like, it's not like they're all dancing sexy. And even if they're dancing sexy, that doesn't always mean anything. Listen, I know some who you would think that, oh my goodness, she will rock your world. That girl can dance. Woo! You're like, oh man. And guess what? She was horrible. The same thing with the red lights. You see them in the red lights and you're like, wow, what a body. Get them back and you go, she ain't perfect. She's not as perfect as I thought, but oh well, it'll be okay. And then she turns out to be a cunt. Can I say cunt on here? I can. You know why? Because I'm not making any fucking money. YouTube ain't gonna make me any money. They're not gonna allow me to monetize this video. Ugh. You only bar find the ones that I love. I used to only bar find the ones that loved me, or at least they said they did. Oh, I get no respect, I tell you. I get no respect. Boy. Two days left on there. I don't even, oh. Unbelievable. Let me see something else here. You know, the other day I said I hated Jimmy Kimmel and what's the other? Jimmy Fallon. But I did see something that was pretty funny when they have celebrities reading their mean tweets, and I thought that was fantastic. Let me see here. What does this say here? See, these are all nice. I don't get any. What I get very few mean comments anymore. Here's a guy. He's not happy though. This thinking you have money, so must give me. It's same here in Australia. All this shit on welfare and middle class welfare, fake public servants welfare, fake public servants jobs. That's 80% of the population. I'm not joking. Keep saying the same old thing. The rich, real workers don't pay enough taxation. WTF. Is like all the bottom dwellers want more and more free cash and prizes. I'm effing sick of it. I tell them get off your lazy tattooed ass and pay most of your income in taxation like I used to do. MGTOW is going mainstream. Now, last year, the Australian government lost 10% of tax-paying men. Slaves! They are just walking away in big numbers. Okay. What is it with people that don't know how to spell? Like, they can barely write a sentence. You don't have to be fantastic. Poseidon looks interesting. Ugh, Poseidon. Gennaro. Poseidon is okay. It's always been okay. That's it. It's not fantastic. It's not the greatest. And the place that I used to go that I really liked, it's not there anymore. It's over there. It was over there on Rama 9 and Rachida. No, is it Rachida? Yeah, it turns into Rachida. Over by Fortune Town. Yeah, well, that could be true, Gennaro. However, it's not always true. Don't believe everything you hear. Because I know some girls who have told me, oh, no, he very big, that kind of thing, all night long or something, Amsterdam, yeah. I used to have a plan to go to, I think it's been so long now it's dropped off my mind. I think there's many other places to go instead of Thailand, honestly. If it wasn't for my kids, I don't know, my wife and my kids, I don't know I'd still be here. I mean, maybe I would because you got to have somewhere to live, and it's a good place to live. It's a decent place, but it's not like it used to be, and I don't know. Well, apparently so do Indians, and yeah, they're taking over there in Pattaya. Taking over. I don't know that I would say it's more fun. It's different. And the girls speak English there. But they're all listen. A hoe is a hoe. You have your fun with them. They get what they want. They get some dough. You have your fun. You get what you want and you say goodbye. As long as you do that, it really doesn't matter where you are. You know. Yeah, I think Vietnam would be a little harder for someone who hasn't been there. Um, the Philippines is a place that a lot of people go because they speak English. All right, John, I'll talk to you in a little bit, eh? Um, the Philippines used to be a place, it was a go-to place. Um, I don't know, but I don't know I'd want to live there. You know? I always wanted to hook up with an Indian hooker after Deech would say, please, please, thank you, come again. Thank you very much, Lex500. I appreciate that. You are the first person out of all the people. You are the first person to make a contribution today, and I appreciate that. And you haven't even commented in here. So, you may be somebody else that usually goes by another name. I don't know that, but thank you. Nevertheless, doesn't matter. I really appreciate it. $5 is $5, baby. I'll take it. What's this Indian one? Indian hook after the deed. Please come. Please, thank you. Come again. Well, beyond Trinity, you know what they say here in Thailand. Welcome. Please come inside. Janara, you could go places closer to the U.S., and you'd probably have just as good of a time. And I'm not saying Mexico or something like that, but I'd have to think about it a little bit. Brazil's a little dangerous. Yeah, I haven't been to the Philippines in quite some time. I used to go for boxing all the time, and then I went before that. I used to go to Angeles City a lot. But when I was involved in boxing, I used to go to Cebu, and I used to go to Manila a lot. And I was always treated very, very well. I mean, like I said, I got nothing against the Philippines. I just think that it's more dangerous. And the women there, even the working women, they are a little more clingy than the Thais are. If you get a regular girl, she's probably going to want to get married if you start sleeping with her regularly. You have to read it with an Indian accent like Apu on The Simpsons. Panama, Cuba. Well, Cuba's a place to go that I don't think it's going to be easier than, say, the Philippines or Thailand, not by any stretch of the imagination. But from what I know about it, and some of the people who I know who have went there have said, it's a bit of an adventure because you never really know. But everybody there is on the take, and they want to get the money. They'll show you around, they help you, they'll bring you in, but then you got to pay them. And with the women, it's the same thing. It's all about the money. It's all about the money everywhere. So, you got to face facts. It's about, you can think of it this way. It's about the cost breakdown. How many days you're going to be there? How many times you're going to do your thing with the girls? And, are you going to have a good time? And is the vibe good? Are you going to have a good time when you're there? Every time I've been to the Philippines, it's always been, I'd say, one way I can say it is, it's been nice. I was always treated very well, especially when I had my Filipino friends around me. Always treated very, very well. When I was alone, I was still treated pretty well. I never had any huge issues. But I do think that Thailand is a better place to live. I think it's safer. I think the people's personalities suit me more. I don't particularly like. Um, I'd rather hear people speaking Thai than speaking Tagalog. Um, but that's just me. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Some people like it. So. Uh, what about Argentina? What about Venezuela? I mean, you can go to all these places if you really wanted. There are other places to go where you can have a good time. It's getting to the point, though, where the number of cost-effective places for guys to go who just want to go and have a good time with women, the places, the costs are rising, and the number of places are dwindling. What about Colombia? The Philippines are dangerous in Manila, not only in the southernmost island. I'm not talking about that kind of danger. I'm just talking about day-to-day danger. The Philippines can be quite dangerous in Manila. In Cebu, you go to the wrong place, it can be dangerous. Angeles City can be dangerous. I mean, yes, the southernmost island, because of the problem with what is it, Abu Sayyaf, Abu Sayyaf, whatever it is. And here's another place, and you guys may think I'm nuts, but I really like the place, is Indonesia. I love the place. Awesome. Very, very nice place. Where did you meet him, Gennaro? In the United States? Costa Rica, yeah, the costs are rising there. Things are changing. But yeah, Costa Rica is supposed to be a good place. And actually, my wife was looking at it, some thing I don't know if it was on YouTube or where it was, and she showed me and she goes, "Can we live there?" And I was like, "Yeah, if we got more money, if we have more money, we can do it." But I don't see that it's going to happen. I think it's SYUF or something like that. So anyway, here we are again, talking about two things. What do we talk about? The one thing we talk about tends to be poo, pooing, toilets. Yeah, I mean, Gennaro, I'm not saying anything, I don't mean to sound negative about it. I just think that Thailand is better. That's just me. I think it's better. I think the people, on the whole, are more, they tend to, their personalities mesh with mine better than Filipinos. Although, like I said, I have some Filipino friends that are involved in boxing. I get along with them great. I have no problem. But as far as going there for, say, a month, every year or something like that, I'd rather come to Thailand. You know? But I did go to the Philippines when I first started coming over here. And, I had a good time. But, it's a little bit different. 25 years later, 24 years later, I know that in Costa Rica that the women are supposed to be gorgeous. And let me see something here. Yeah, here's one that I really love. Hello, I'm a caregiver. This is elderly care in Thailand, right? And I believe I gave the names of a few places. And this guy writes, "Hello, I'm a caregiver from Philippines. How can I apply as a caregiver? Do you know someone?" Yeah, okay. Uh, Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Is that what it is? Yeah, there's an A in there. Okay. I got you. All right, where are we at here? Wow. Well, time has flew. Time has flew. Thank you very much for joining me. We got the core group here, which I always appreciate. You guys have been watching for quite some time. Most of you have watched for quite some time, and always have been generous with me. So I gotta get that out there. So when I bitch and moan, there are a handful of people in here that I'm not bitching and moaning about. Which is, I'll go to some beaches across the Philippines eventually, but I won't get to any of the girly areas. What's appealing to me about the Philippines is all the islands to explore, and the people are very friendly. And honestly, if just me, again, I would go to Indonesia to visit the islands there before I went to the Philippines. So, and again, I'll say I'm not trying to slam the Philippines. It's just for me, having been all these places, I would much prefer Thailand over the Philippines. And if it came down to Indonesia, hey, Rakib, what's happening? Came down to Indonesia versus, say, Cambodia and the Philippines, I'd go to Indonesia. Even Cambodia and the Philippines, well, I don't know about that, because I don't think I'd want to live in Cambodia. I gave it a little thought many years ago, and that was it. How you doing, Rakib? I've been meaning to finish up this video of me going to Bangladesh, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and several places in Thailand. And I will put your video, the video footage of you shaving me and everything, I will make sure I put that in there. But I still have to have time to get to it. I'm constantly reprioritizing. I didn't particularly love Malaysia. I've been to a few places there, and I never spent, say, a month there, and I haven't been to any beaches where I just hung out on the beach. So, I don't know that I'm really qualified to speak about it, but I've been there a couple of times for a couple of days of pop. And it didn't do anything for me. But, if I went to a beach somewhere, I was out in some little area that I liked, well, that might change the way that I think. So, yeah. We talk about all these places, and, the thing is that, no, I haven't posted it, man. Shit, it's like how much... This is the thing. I post this shit, and I don't even want to get into it. Not even going to get into it. Yes, exactly. What news? Is there any... I know there's news in Bangladesh, isn't there? There's some stuff going on over there. I saw something the other day. I forgot what it was. Scott Crastination. Tell me about it. I get lists. I have to every once in a while go through like a bag or my pockets, or sometimes on the floor I throw a bunch of papers. I'll make a list up, print it out. It's for like the next 3-4 days or for a week. I'll make a list up, and out of 10 things in one day, I get like 2 things done. And then I do 2 things from that day, the day before, and then I do 1 thing for the next day. And then I just go, I got to redo this. And I make another one up, and I got other things to do that I forgot about. And so I'm constantly making lists, and I'm getting like 1 or 2 things, which, I should limit myself to. I've got to do 3 things today. That's it. And not include, brush my teeth, shave, wash my my ass, all these kind of things. I'm not talking about that. Eat, things that you have to do. I'm talking about edit these videos, edit these photos, redo my website, redo Patreon. How long have I been saying that? In fact, I was going to put this up here. Let me see if I can do it. Can I do it? Let me see. This was the idea. Now, if things work out with the GoFundMe campaign, I will put a link up to it. Believe me, I'll put it up in the community part of the... Oh, man, it doesn't come out the way it's supposed to. Oh, you know what? That's not what I was going to do. Yeah, I can't do it right now. There's something I was going to do. I don't need a motivator. I don't need a motivator. You know what my motivation is? I got to make money. That's my motivation. I have to make money because I got bills to pay. I got kids to take care of. That's my motivation. I don't need a motivation. I need some success. That's what I need. And I need YouTube to be a little better to its content creators. I don't need a motivator, though, because what happens is I'm overwhelmed. I'm one guy. I create live streams. I create videos. I do the videos. I get the stuff together. I do the videos when I can and how I can. I got photos I'm trying to make money from. I'm constantly editing those. And I've got to continue with the social media. Because if you don't continue, if you say, I'm not going to continue with Instagram, I'm just going to lay off for the next 3 months. I'm not going to continue with Facebook. I'm not going to continue with Twitter. Guess what? You lose a high percentage of the people after, if I didn't post for a week, I'd probably lose 10%, 20% of the people on some of the, like, Twitter and stuff like that. So you got to keep doing it. It's a freaking thing. You got to keep it up with it, It's a full-time endeavor. Which is why... now that since you're telling me this, Beyond Trinity, the other day, I went to You Hunt We Cook, and I said to Cake, I said, "Are you ever going to make a YouTube channel?" And she was just like, And I know exactly how she feels because it's not something that you just do and it takes no effort and there's so much other shit you need to do. And even my wife has said, maybe I should do a cooking channel on South Thai food and other kinds of traditional Thai food. I go, listen, don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But why? First of all, you're going to get harassed. You will get harassed. You will see comments and you'll go, what the f-? And I know her. She would do that. And she'd want to tell the people to, where they can stick it. Then she's going to be like, I made this video. I spent 1,000 baht on all this food. And in a month, I made 13 cents. I'm like, yeah, welcome to YouTube. I told her, you're going to have to, So, and that's not how it is with everybody, but I'd say a large percentage, especially now, that's how it goes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, I don't need 650 million. I don't even need 2 million. I don't need that much. I read, believe me, I read all about it, and then I got all pumped to put it out, and I got this message. I'm serious. I got a message saying, it looks like your campaign is to raise money for the Australian bushfires. We're sorry, but this is not. What was it? This was not allowed, or we're going to have to review your account or something like that. Then I got another message that said, and this was not a problem before, and it's not a problem when you create the account. You show that you're an American citizen, but you're not in America. You're in Thailand. We don't allow we do not allow. We don't have GoFundMe set up in Thailand. I'm like, okay, but my address is in America. Now what do I got to do? Use a proxy? I mean, really, what do people do that are somewhere where they don't have access to that? So, it kind of took the wind out of my sails. It really did bug me. And the thing is about the Australia thing, okay, I saw that something like there's like 200 scams on by people to try to get money raised because of the Australian bush fires. All I did, I'll put the sentence, in fact, I'll put it up. I got the little thing out right now. This is where did I put this? Here. This is the paragraph that I put up. I'm going to put this up right now. See if does the whole thing go in? Oh, no, it won't all go in. Let's see. Can I do it this way? Let's see. That's still not enough. Oh. All right, I might as well just take that out. All right. Okay. The part that says the fires in Australia. That's the only thing that said anything about fires and the only thing that said anything about Australia. And because of that, no dice. So you can't put that. So, I was going to take it out. And then I got the message that said, we show that you're in Thailand and have a U.S. address. We're sorry, but we currently do not have GoFundMe set up in your country. I'm like, my country. Tell the Thais it's my country. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Anything else? I'm going to change the name of this channel to The Grumpy Old Man. Or, what is it? Midlife Crisis. I don't think I'm midlife anymore. What is considered midlife? Midlife. $45 to $55. So I'm not even in the midlife section anymore. Unbelievable. I'm setting up a Nana fund. Any takers? What's a Nana fund? What does that Nana fund go for? Is that for you? So that you can use it at Nana? Or is it for the downtrodden at in the various establishments that you frequent? What? You were too busy and missed it. You can still do it now. Anyway. Big fun. I think what I'm going to do. Food is something that, always makes you feel better. It's for you. I'm thinking about cooking up a nice, oh God. He met a girl named Nana and wants to get her money. I think he'll just wait until he gets here and just give her the money. He'll just give her a little envelope with the money. I got a nice pork chop in the refrigerator, a nice big juicy pork chop. I think I'll use some of the rub that I have and stick it in the oven and broil it up. Make it at a steak restaurant. Well, we could always go to the Marriott here in Bangkok with the New York Steakhouse. Except, everybody's dinner will cost them between $3,000 and $5,000 baht. I used to go to the Marriott with the guys that I worked with. We used to go there to the buffet that they had downstairs. It was very good. It was very good, and I think it was something like, I don't know, $7.95. How much was it? Let me see if I can figure it out. Fucking good fun me. How much? Spatting oil? What's spatting oil? Oh, it doesn't tell me. I just want, just tell me the price. That's all I want. It's not the JW Cafe. That place is pretty good, but a little bit pricey. Anyway, doesn't matter. It ain't cheap. Something like $25, $30, but you get some good food there. And if you want, you can have some foie gras. Ooh. So, be careful because some people don't like that stuff. Aperitif at Nana, 1 minute away. God. Can you imagine that? If we got like 20 people together, which I don't think that'll happen. We got 20 people together. We all went out to a steakhouse, and then everybody wanted to go to Nana Plaza. Let's go to Nana. Sure, man. I almost feel like, my kid's 18. So you see some girl in there who, she might be 20 or 22. And she might know what she's doing in the bedroom, and she might know how to get money out of guys. But, she's extremely immature otherwise. And then I see my kid, and I'm like, I must be old. That's what I think. I must be old. It's a sign, Everybody's got to go through it. It's just that part of age, that part of your life, the life cycle. As an old man, I get no respect, I tell you. No respect. God, the lag on this is like a minute. There's like a 1 minute lag. Here I am yapping away. I need to go. Pissing my time away here in this stream. I got the same 4 people commenting every 14 minutes. Let me see something. Where am I? Where is this? Let me see. Or you see a young girl at Nana Plaza, then you find out later she knows your son from school. Yeah, I kind of wondered about that, but I don't think. Who knows, man? Who knows? It could happen. He's at university now, so it could happen for sure. I don't even, at this point, I don't even talk to them about women. I've already talked to them and talked to them, both of them. Talked to both of these kids about women. And they tell me, yeah, Daddy, I don't want to, really, do we need to talk about this? That's what I get now. I'm like, listen, just don't knock them up. I'm not ready to be a grandfather yet. Please don't do that. Especially because it's going to end up costing us money. You know, it means reappropriating funds, and it's very difficult to do that, you know. So, you know, what can I say? I've grown old here in Bangkok, Thailand, and while I still like it here for the most part, I just have to acknowledge, I have to come to grips with the fact that I am a little old man now. And, you know, my kids look at me like an old man. What are you going to do? Just got to, you know, you got to get used to it, I guess. I mean, sometimes they're listening to music. I'm like, why are you listening to this music? This is what I grew up listening to. Yeah. Then I hear him listening to something. I'm like, who's that? You don't know who this is? No. You know, or my wife will listen to something and she'll go, you don't know who that is? I'm like, no. Got no idea. I'm out of the loop. You know, when you get old, that's what happens, I think. You know, you're not around a group of people at school. You're not around, well, like with me, it's not like I'm hanging out with a bunch of coworkers. What is this, huh? At least you do a sex demonstration. I'm like, I remember. Yes, I did write it down. I remember. I did write it down. It's on my list. My list of lists. So yeah. Anyway, we've been on here for over 3 hours. I thought I'll be on here for like a half an hour, bang through everything real quick, and then I'll be out of here. I got things to do. It's a Friday. Yeah, it's a Friday. So what that means is if I'm going to go anywhere, like to the mall even, especially if I go anywhere else, if I go even to the mall, if I'm out after about 3:30, there's going to be so many people and traffic and noise and, you know, I'm an old man. I don't want to hear all this stuff. I just want to, you know, if I go like right now and I go run some errands and get this and get that, then it's easy. I'm there. I do everything in a half an hour. Boom, I come back. No traffic. I'm inside. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the kids start coming home. I don't even hear the noise outside. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to double check about this run against dictatorship, because I really don't want to go there for 4 or 5 hours just for a walk run. I don't want to do it. But if I know it, you know, they're going to have some guy on a stage and he's, you know, trying to rally the troops and talk about things, then I'll be there. So, you know, one of two things will happen on Sunday. I'll stream on Sunday, and I guess that'll be it. But let me see this here. I am going to put something up on my channel. I may start blogging again. And, yeah. So, that's it. Spent a lot of time. It's 3 p.m. when seniors get... Oh, you are a funny one, aren't you? Actually, what I should do is either go across the street and get some 40-baht noodles. I don't really want to do that because I want to eat meat. So I've got a nice big pork chop. I can cook it up in about... I can put it all together in about 15, 20 minutes. I cook it up in the oven. Boom, and I got a nice piece of meat. That's probably what I'm going to do. And maybe I'll have a coffee afterwards. I don't know. But that's all I got, I guess. Now, where is this thing? Let me see. I'm going to put this up again. I didn't even know about that. Where are we at here? Old Country Buffet, never heard of it. You guys have lost me. I've been gone too long. I don't even know the names of places anymore. I didn't even know what the Shake Shack was. I didn't have a clue until I got to Hong Kong and saw one. I was like, oh, that's the Shake Shack. Anyway, I got to roll. I can't just keep saying goodbye. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the talk, the little rants and raves and all that kind of stuff. So, that's all I got. Until next time, whenever that may be, which probably is Sunday. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D. No, jerk and my. So see you guys later.